Hey, hey, hey. Wait on, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pressure Talk. I'm your brother Nitty Bay, aka Mr. 23 and 6. Naptown stand up, St. Louis stand up on my dirty Midwest shit. How everybody doing, man, on this holy and divine day? You know what I'm saying? Friday is a holy and divine day for all Muslims all over the world. I extend my fire to all Muslims here, there, and all over the world. Um, Also, rise giving praise to Allah and to the Prophet, because on this holy day, I must do that when I'm about to, demonstrate a measure. So, how y'all doing though, man, on this Friday? What's y'all plans for the weekend? Y'all about to, have fun? Y'all about to chill with the little ones? What y'all got going on, man? You know what I'm saying? We back in the building, man. Man, we done had some unfortunate things go on, here in Indianapolis in the city, man, and you know, we trying to figure it out, bro. You know what I'm saying? As a people, and we gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't finna let nobody, take the misguided understanding portion of ourselves and use that to, categorize, across the board. I ain't going. You feel me? So with that being said, hey, listen, man. So I came across this reel, you know, then I'm finna play. So audio I'm finna play. I already told you about my situation. I'm getting it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But the audio I'm about to play here in a second is a brother by the name of Yaki Awaken. And um he's actually, from the Midwest. He's from St. Louis. Are y'all knowing? Y'all know him? Y'all heard him? Okay, that's what's up. Okay, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Midwest in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I'm on dirty Midwest shit. But anyway, this brother's name is Yaki Awaken. And I'm finna play, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be, measure the one, but the topic I'm finna touch on, you know, a lot of people finna be, tickled behind this, but it is what it is. And I feel like I'm putting this out here, bro, because like about I wanna say last weekend, maybe, I was kicking it with my brother, you know what I'm saying, my baby brother, you know what I'm saying, on my mama's side. I was at his crib, me, him, and sis, you know what I'm saying, his baby mama. And we just, sitting there kicking it, just chopping up, he on 2K, you know what I'm saying? We sitting there chopping it up. And, a conversation came up, to where within the midst of the conversation, I had to, break down to my brother how, you know, before we became, masculine, we was feminine first. And I understand that this is a concept that ain't really never been, administered to us, ain't never been shown, ain't never been heard of. It's something new. You feel me? But I had an opportunity, man, when I was like in my late 20s, like early 30s, to come across, this type of information. And even in the penitentiary, I used to, them little brothers in there used to be like, "Oh, anybody, you tripping, man?" Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? But it was because, they was feeling the way they was feeling because the modern day school system is not, designed to teach us the deep science of, you know, things. And in this situation, it would have been biology, you know what I'm saying, which I'm gonna get into in a second. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, when I came across this reel, I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity, to have this conversation with my people. Like, we need to, these are some of the things that we need to have in our mental when it comes to socializing with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been taught hate for so long, we've been misguided for so long. You know what I mean? And like I said before, man, and this is, I've never heard anybody ever say this before, so this is my personal thing. I've always said that there's only two books in existence, in reality, whatever you want to call it. And those books are the book of man, you know what I'm saying, which is spirit and flesh. And then there's the book of God, which is the book of nature. You know what I'm saying? Now, the book of man has been manipulated and so forth, and whatever you want to call it. The book of words, whatever you want to call it. Nature is something that, man hasn't been able to manipulate. And so, therefore, a conversation needs to be had. So, I basically told my little brother that, we've been raised to, and conditioned to believe that Adam was a male. He was a man. And like I said, before my past, my family, my mother's side of the family, and I mean my mother's side of the family, they were the ones, I said it before, that made me, pardon the body, they made me aware of God, you know what I'm saying, growing up. You know what I'm saying? Whereas more science and Islamism made me familiar with God. And there's a difference. So when, me already, being aware of God when I went into the penitentiary, and then coming into the science, of more science and becoming familiar with God, things started, clicking differently. And because I ran into different information that was not, made available to me, when I was being made aware of God. And such information, like in the social hierarchy of things, we say the man teaches the woman teaches the child. But if you take that process and you put it into the book of Genesis, technically Eve educated Adam according to the book, because she was the one that gave him the fruit. She was the one that convinced him to bring forth the knowledge that was already in him. She was the one that taught him. That's the only way that could be, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, if the man teaches the woman teaches the child, then how was Eve the first teacher? You know what I mean? I mean, can y'all follow me with this? And it's like, another thing is, when it comes to nature, we know for a fact, or for reality, or indisputable understanding, that certain things in nature hasn't been changed, and biology is one of them. When God made Adam and Eve, however you want, whatever the story you want to believe, the law of gestation, of germination, was also set forth. Actually, it had to be set forth before Adam and Eve came into manifest, because the animals and the trees and all these things were, upon the body. All these things were already here. Every animal had a male and female. Everything had one of its kind. So the concept of the development from female to male was already a nature. It was already a law. So now the question becomes, did God change the law with man? Or has it always been that way, and man figured out a way to change the law? So let's get into the content, and you know what I'm saying, we can have a little conversation about this after this. Let's go. And when that embryo is actually always going to be greater risk of this is Yaki Awaken. Uterine fibroids than white women. But it's going on as well with the males, where the males are becoming infertile and sterile, where they can't even get an erection, and if they can get an erection, they can't even put it in because it's too short. I mean, think about it. We're coming into an age where 2-3 generations from now, boys gonna be born with clits. If we don't stop this, like it seems like that we're going through a de-evolutionary process. Now we're going back to which we came, because between the ages of 1 to 6 weeks of birth, and when that embryo is actually going through its evolutionary process in the womb, at 6 weeks is when the Y chromosome actually attaches, and then that's when that fetus actually. And I'm gonna pause it there for a second. You heard what he said. From week 1 to week 6, during the developmental stage. I mean, from the moment that sperm all that happens from moment 1 to week 6. The body is feminine. It's a female. It's a female. This is divine law. This is nature. This is in all things, with the exception of those things that are asexual. But even in that, I believe that the science is still there in the same way. But let's keep it going.
Turns into a male. Before then, it's phonemic in nature, meaning it's feminine in nature. It's a vagina there. It's ovaries. Then the ovaries drop and become testicles. The clitoris extends and becomes the girth, and whistle becomes the penis and the shaft. You know what I'm saying? The lips and the vulva actually becomes the scrotum of the nut sacs that hold the ovary that became the testicles. So it seems like we're going through a de-evolutionary process.
Now hold on.
Hacking our food and messing with our chemical composition of our food.
I'm finna. Hopefully y'all can still hear it, but I'm finna pick my my iPad up so y'all can try to see how he shows a graph of the process. Hold on.
It's time for us to do something about it. So Reese, it's time for us to do something about it. So recent penis shrinkage, losing penis length and girth, erectile biohacking our food and messing with our chemical composition of our food, turning us back into females. Penile atrophy. Look it up. Penile atrophy. And that's when the ovary become testes, and then that's when that fetus.
All right, now, I hope y'all can see this, man. So y'all gotta bear with me. Hey, can y'all see that?
And then that's when that fetus actually turns into a male. Before then, it's phonemic in nature, meaning it's feminine in nature. It's a vagina there. It's ovaries. Then the ovaries drop and become testicles. The clitoris extends and becomes the girth, and whistle becomes the penis and the shaft. You know what I'm saying? The lips and the vulva actually becomes the scrotum of the nut sacs that holds the ovary that became the testicle.
Now y'all see that? Y'all see that? This is a real time 2025 demonstration of a process, a divine process that. Now, I want to get off into another part of this. Hold on, let me try to find it real quick. Bear with me. Make sure this is it. Because he finna burn down what God is.
To the penile tissues of the penis. All right, you would get your penis hard. Let's just say this penis is hard.
No diddy.
Living with a micro penis is a challenge. You need to be teaching him how to use his mind instead of living with a micro penis is a challenge that may require psychological counseling. I believe that. I mean, because think about it. That's your manhood. That's your penis. You need to be teaching him how to use his mind instead of his body. Hopefully his penis is big enough that he can go inside this woman and at least ejaculate, if not have it put in her for the woman can get pregnant. Before that, he got to get a woman. So, you know, he's going to have some good, I don't like to call it game, but he's going to have his house in order. I think he should literally focus on the P's. First one is producing. Make sure that he have a mindset where he's a producer. No, he's not a user of energy, he's a producer of energy.
That's a generator. That's the G.
Ways to power. You have to be a producer. So teach him how to be a producer, how to create something, own his own business. You know, learn something second nature. That way when
that's
the
G.
Speak with confidence. Whatever he produces, he have to provide it to somebody. So he need to learn how to provide for a woman. I'm not saying that it's going to.
That's the operator.
His fingers little, but these things will lessen the load, though.
That's the operator. That's the O.
Because once you produce,
that's the D.
What you produce, you got
the destroyer.
Investment in what you produce and provide it for. Then the four, he got to be proactive.
All right, now I'm gonna go back.
The third P is protection. Because once
I'm gonna go back. He break down 3 P's.
So producer. So teach him how to be a producer.
That's the G. That's a generator.
Business. You know, learn something second nature. That way, when he can speak with confidence. Whatever he produces, he have to provide it to somebody. So
that's the operator. That's the G. That's the O.
It's gonna take her all the way off that his penis little. But these things will lessen the load, yo. You got the third P is protection. Because
that's the destroyer.
And you provide what you produce, you got to protect in your
that's the destroyer.
Produce and provide it for. Then the four, he got to be proactive. He have to have a proactive plan on how to keep this thing going. You know, long.
Now, The fourth one is to me is irrelevant because the first three, if you operating on all of the first three, the fourth one is automatically gonna come into play. So you heard what he said. You know what I'm saying? A producer, which is a generator. That's the G. Then he has to be able to produce, operate. You know what I'm saying? That's the function. That's the O. And then be able to protect. That's the destroyer. That's the D. It's a deep science. But I felt like this was relevant because me and my people that had a number of conversations up at home, but it seemed like a lot of times when in our community, because going to prison really is frowned upon. As much as it may be, glamorized and glorified, it's not really something that, our community as a whole hold as a badge of honor. That's something that only means something within the subculture. You know what I'm saying, about people. Like, our grandparents and their parents, they didn't, to know that one of their relatives was in prison, that was like a shame on the name of the family. You know what I'm saying? So, and even, me, going through what I went through, I had to apologize to my grandmother, you know what I'm saying, and my grandfather for, dishonoring their legacy that they, worked so hard for, to go that particular path. And here it is, I took that name and to put shit all over it. You feel me? But even though that was done, the process of developing in life, I went into that situation and decided that I was not going to come home, with a misguided or lost form of understanding, guidance, if you will. And I come to find out, which is interesting, because even before I went in, I was subject to the conditioning of, judging ones that were in prison or that came home from prison, that was Muslims. Like, them was individuals you need to stay away from. They radicals, they extremists, they blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And as a result of that, when I became one of the statistical cogs in that wheel and put into that system, I had that, at the forefront of my brain, like, okay, this is where that comes from. So I want to see why people feel like, they this and that. And I got a firm understanding, and it was a misunderstanding by those that was out here. But because most of these brothers had basically went in there and came across education, real knowledge, real understanding, real wisdom. And they wanted to come back and give it to the world because it was given to them in a way that, they accepted it. They feel like this is how the world had to receive it because this is how it was given to them. And, to each his own, if that's how they felt, that's how they felt. You feel me? In my mind, I was like, it wasn't taken out there because, I ended up finding out that, in our organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America, one of the most well-known internationally and nationally grand sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple of America, a brother by the name of Jerry Lewis Bey, from St. Louis, Missouri. You know what I'm saying? He was the grand sheik. This brother, I never heard of him. He was doing his thing, way before I got locked up. When I was in the streets, gangbanging, he was doing his thing, but I had never heard of him. Even when I had asked my earthly father, Maurice Cesar Wells Ill, may Allah bless his trials and his struggles. He was like, yeah, son, yeah, he used to throw block parties. I never heard of him. And I was crawling through the streets of St. Louis, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my city. You know what I'm saying? And we was banging hard. You know what I'm saying? So I never heard of it. You know what I mean? So it was like from a spiritual perspective, that part of the existence was like not being shown to me at that time. You know what I mean? Because it was there, I just didn't see it. Apparently. So it's like I go and, go through what I go through, and I decide to educate myself so I won't have to. I feel like if I, take this path, it'll give me more options because I became to understand what options was in life. And what I learned was the same judgment that I had casted upon those brothers who came out here with the attempt to bring the light into the world that I threw on them is now being thrown on me. Because that's the first thing individuals like to say, is, that's a penitentiary education, or that's a penitentiary religion, or that's you know what I mean? As if putting the disclaimer of penitentiary on there is somehow, some way, it minimizes the truth of what's being spoken. You feel me? It's not like I went and got this information from a foreign realm and it doesn't matter here. Like, the truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? The reality is the reality. It is what it is. Facts are facts. But it's relevant because it's a lot of brothers that came out here. It's a lot of sisters that came out here from inside those Desmond crypts that had monumental gifts to give to our people. And because of this conditioning of hate that we have been given, they couldn't make it past a light depression to get to a deep depression. You know what I mean? Because if there's a deep depression, then there has to be a light depression. And a lot of them succumbed to the light depression and ended up going back to prison or ended up falling into the deep depression and just don't want to do nothing with everything they acquired. All of that knowledge, all of that wisdom is now down the drain because your approach was not, welcome or embraced. That's the word I'm looking for, by the masses. And a lot of times I feel like it's because we create this ideal of some sort of savior in our head that we're going to be to our people when we come home, that we don't understand the vanity of that idea. You know what I mean? So we come out here and we allow that vanity to ride under the undercurrents unseen until it's too late. But my thing is, like I said, I started, coming into contact with this information when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And I was telling a lot of the young brothers, I did it to my nephew them a few days ago. You know what I'm saying? Because when I came in contact with this information, I'm a high vibrational Aquarius, so my sarcasm kicks in, even with myself. So when I read this information and I understood the development or process, I was like, hold on, man. I don't think I want to lick no pussy. I don't think I want to lick no pussy. I don't think I want to lick no pussy. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying, because now I'm seeing this, and this is a fact. I can't deny it. To deny it is to deny God. That makes you a liar. That makes you a deceiver. So I'm like, oh my God. So when I tell my nephew, shout out to my nephew MJ, shout out to my nephew Anthony Wayway, you know what I'm saying, and baby Trench, you know what I'm saying, for those in the rap game. When I told you, when I explained to them what they was doing when they was down there, what that ended up becoming, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But facts is facts, cuz. Facts is facts. So, with that being said, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can follow me on YouTube at Derek Neely 4590. I'm on Facebook at Neely Bay. I'm on TikTok at my name is Neely Bay. On Instagram is Neely Bay as well. It's not at Neely Bay, it's just Neely Bay. On those three, on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook is just Neely Bay. But on YouTube it's at Derek Neely 4590. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the process, man. I hope y'all support, you know what I'm saying, the brother. It's your brother Newly Bad K, Mr. 23 and 6, Naptown stand up, St. Louis stand up. I'm on my Dirty Midwest shit. Hey. Had to turn me up.